Guys, Antifa and these leftists need to be criminally prosecuted, because if Antifa is not prosecuted, they're going to storm into Illinois and start killing random people. They will take over Illinois. So that means if we don't arrest them now in Minnesota for their autonomous zone, next thing we know, they're going to take all of Illinois.
Or Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're already trying to take over in Atlanta anyway.
Well, they were doing that. And so we have to stop them in Atlanta. Otherwise, they'll take Florida.
They'll take Florida next.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Oh, we better be hyperbolic and claim that our enemies are going to be 100 times worse than what they're actually doing. People will believe it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. More than what they're capable of.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I guess they're going to have a vote on that. I guess the funding bill got to the floor, and they're going to vote on it.
Look, if anybody would be willing to make a bet with me, if it was like a sports betting app, and I was allowed to make any odds wager, like that the funding will happen, they could say like a $100 bet wins you 10 cents. I'm taking that bet. I'll be like, oh, I get a free dime, huh? Mm-hmm. Free money. You think they're gonna not fund Ukraine and Israel? And there's some what other Taiwan, right.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that funding's happening no matter what you think.
It's happening.
So if they came in and said $100 bet wins you 1 cent, I'd be like, okay, so how much money do I got to put in to make $100? Because it's a safe bet. It's happening, and there's nothing anyone's gonna do about it. You can protest, you can cry, you can whinge.
Now, and it doesn't matter which party's in charge either.
Right. Yep.
Doesn't matter when.
I love this. Mike Johnson's like, you know, I was a populist guy, and I realized the government was wasting our money. And then the deep state brought me in the back room and beat me over the head and told me do it or else. And now I agree. We should absolutely be funding all of these wars. You know what I love when he's like, I encourage all the other members to see the classified briefings. Mm-hmm. And I'm just imagining they like bring him into a back room and then strap him down and then pull a slug out of a vat and they put it in his ear and he's like, ah, and it goes into his brain and he's like, all right, let us begin the operation. And then like, that's just really what it is. I know what they're really doing is they just hand up, can we give you they go, Speaker Johnson, we'd like to give you the classified briefing so you can really understand what's going on. And he's like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. They walk, he's like, right this way. They open a door. He walks inside, they close it. He's in a janitor's closet and they're like, what's going on? And then he just hands them an envelope and he opens it and it's a picture of JFK. And then he's like, message received loud and clear. And then he walks out of the closet and he's like, we must fund Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan.
What do you think's in those JFK things that they won't release? And Trump was like, I'm not releasing that either.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the FISA vote, right? I mean, Congress basically voted to suspend the Constitution and allow FISA to surveil American citizens without a warrant, is allowing the federal government to buy data from big tech companies to monitor American citizens. You would think that if we're going to go that far beyond the Constitution, there's going to be some clear and compelling reason why we're doing it. I don't think they should be doing it at all.
Same.
But I'm just saying, if they're going to do it, you'd think that there'd be a really good reason. And yet, all I've heard is that there's some national security rationale that's out there in the ether that every deep state politician keeps alluding to, while at the same time doing absolutely nothing to secure the southern border, which is being overrun by an invasion from hostile foreigners. I mean, the idea that we're doing this for national security purposes is so asinine, it's insulting.